Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to another Poetry After Dark. I am not going to be doing the music this week until I can find something that isn't going to give me a copyright claim or some way to, work around that. As some of you may know, I've already had enough blows today. Finding out, because I was at 300 this morning, 307 actually. And now I'm at 287. And I don't know if this is a kickback from last night's spooky story stream, which I've since taken down. Truth, I'm a little embarrassed how it started, but tonight's theme feels very appropriate in this case. And while people roll on in, and speaking of, happy penguin cupcake. How you doing, darling? And one of my favorite doggies. Hello, Bone. How you doing? Like I said, happy to see there's still people getting notifications. But I know I should have done the last Friday the stream, but I've been working so hard on trying to get this doll done, and I've come across a couple roadblocks in the process. Learning curves. But sipping over to Hello Poetry. And again, as always, links are always in the description, because it's very important to me to make sure the links are, give credit where credit is due. I'm going to start with Reflection by Adam M. Snow. I am alone this night aflutter. Confusion reigns, so I utter. The air is that of a clouded dream, so dark like that of an ordeal gleam. I wonder where this fancy bestowed me, in a room damp it be. My vision is blurred by the smoky scene, I see only a table draped of shallow green. I pondered there for a moment it was, but apparently a moment too long, came a buzz. It echoes louder, louder atop of that tablecloth, calling to me my once forgotten troth. So heedfully I approached the table with ease, seeing afar it covered in a bluish frieze. My vision, once blurred, now felt clearer, that the vanity table shone an old mirror. Now from the vanity table a mirror I now held. I glanced upon myself, now greatly compelled. A face has shone. Was I yet not I? It cursed myself to die. The image that was shown had a shadowed vision. Ye or I enter sweet derision. O'er thy pass of insanity wake as much of pain as I could take. The mirror shone cracked, I feel it no more. My heart beats cold, my days be. I've fallen apart to lose my way, and am I now one in a blackened day? I watched my life now turn to mist. The writer is I who cannot exist. I shone cracked in my own reflection. These wounds are the signs of my affliction. Am I one in this reflection shown to, seeking to make my life anew? I asked my reflection to be shown. My truth, my past is left unknown. I ask of thee, let it be done. The writer is I, the lonely one. My reflection, it stains the drops of blood. Engulf it now, I slowly flood. My eyes are stained as I lay cold. I am weak, bound, growing old. My voice is muted as my heart now breaks. My body's bounded, my soul still aches. Misery whelms my ever being, leaving I without a sight for seeing. burned into my mind a vision of pain as the mirror cursed me insane. To be upon a mirror image, upon a worldly scrimmage, my reflection does not show this truth that I do not dare to know. The mirror's cracked, I feel it no more. My heart beats cold, leaving me sore. I've fallen apart and lost my way. Am I but one in a blackened day? I long for amity among benevolence. I sought after amongst your prevalence. Am I now we and we look back? My ember morn has now grown black. The mirror shattered the images not. My demons has shown its devilish plot. I've been raised yet to have fallen. My life, my heart song is stolen. My reflection in vision pains. I am bound by my worldly chains. I am forced to face myself in this state. The mirror shows it is my fate. My image is broken, yet it is whole. Seek only for my life's role. I am reaching throughout the dark. My only light a petite spark. Never more will my reflection show. I am lost with no place left to go. The mirror's lust is failed. It is not where I dwelled. My tears are fallen upon my reflection. This holds for me no resurrection. This cracked mirror now shows only one. The life in this mirror is nearly done. My reflection, it is not new, like the mirror turning blue. I myself gone insane. I shall not lack in vain. I am myself, not myself, let I be smite. This is the shine of evil's light. I only love, yet I still hate. I know now it is my fate. I feared myself of who I am. Curse me now, let thee be damned. Bow ye not if I with shame, only I am whom to blame. I cannot live like the past, nor the future of all in vast. Okay, we will check, see. Yeah, thank you, Penguin. Yeah, bone all at once. I was at 3:07 this morning. Yeah, I did post on Twitter for those who read the message to double check to see if they're still subbed. Thank you, Maki. Hopefully, and hopefully the dolls and all that will help, because I'd like to believe the crafting thing is the right direction because it feels right. Granted, I may have last night's spooky story stream was clearly not as popular. Either people were busy or whatever. But I don't know. So yeah, feeling a bit of a blow this morning or this evening. Either way, moving on. Still in Hello Poetry by Summer. My reflection. My reflection stares back at me with all my insecurities flying around behind me. My reflection, unmoving, still and lifeless, makes me conscious. My reflection at age 5 was happy and enthusiastic, dressed in bright colors and loved to smile. My reflection at age 9 was insecure and semi-unhappy with the changes going on. My reflection at age 12 was unhappy and hated life, hated herself because of how fat she was. My reflection at age 15 became a little happier, but only a little, because she was still fat. My reflection at age 16 kind of accepts herself, only kind of, because she will always be fat. My reflection at age 16 isn't perfect, not for society, not for anyone. My reflection at age 16 will never be enough for you or for anyone. Before I take another peek at the chat, I'm going to read Reflection by Arwen. As I sit here with my toes buried in the sand, I stare out at the vast ocean that lies before me. The reflection I see is one of the person I now am. The reflection that gazes back at me is the one whose eyes are filled with emptiness and sorrow, a reflection lacking any sign or joy of happiness, for the once present smile has been erased like chalk on a chalkboard, replaced with a frown instead. This reflection seems as dark as the water in the distance, but with the approaching sunset, the rays of the sun shine a different light, making the water appear golden, sparkling as if giving a new life. In this I see a new reflection, a second chance, a real purpose, and meaning in this world. It reminds me of how precious life truly is, to never take life for granted, to never give up hope. As the water before me grows quieter with the setting of the sun, my fears also diminish, and I recognize that the reflection now staring back at me is the person I need to become. This reflection is my future, as it is meant and designed to be. Yeah. Oh, I know YouTube loves to do that. First time it's happened to me, though. And I'm hoping that's all it is. Fingers crossed. Again, welcome to Poetry After Dark. Tonight's subject is reflection. It felt appropriate, as I'm not sure where it is where you are, but we had the daylight savings overnight. And it's a time, that time in between a Halloween that should have been, and a Christmas that I fear for a different reason than usual. And I came across this quote, which felt very, very timely with everything what's going on. From traveling back from my mom's with the little one, seeing the empty streets that should have been filled with children, little demons and goblins and witches and a myriad of superheroes that weren't there. And it made me a little sad, actually, to be honest. And I did do some thinking over the night. And this, like I said, this quote, it spoke to me. Time spent in self-reflection is never wasted. It is an intimate date with yourself. By Paul T.P. Wong. As adults, we always have those fond memories. And Halloween was always that year that we grew to look forward to. Those of us who got to celebrate it. But it was that time to dress up, to be your favorite cartoon character, or a humanized version of an animal, or whatever your heart fancied, without judgment, without people saying a word about it. My little one, for kindergarten, wanted to be Edna Mode from The Incredibles. Now, I They don't make that costume in that size. So I had, between me and my sister, we she did help out some, but yeah, we put together an amazing Edna Mode costume. In truth, I still have the dress that was made from a blanket and a adult's dress that I found in a secondhand store because the material had just the right look to it. And it was beautiful. It was heart just bursting moment seeing her in the little costume as she wanders around going, "No capes." Halloween has never been just about the candy. I'd be lying if I said as an adult I still don't enjoy it. But it's that time to reflect on the darkness. It's that time that we take a moment to honor the summer that has passed. We have fun scares. And that we honestly, we turn around and we enjoy spending time with others and let that weirdness side that we all have in us out, because we know no one will judge it. And in that aspect, I think Halloween is often more important than Christmas. Because Christmas, we always have to go to families. We have to dress up a certain way, look just right, act just right. Make sure you kiss everybody. Make sure, Halloween is that time we can be us. Truly who we are at a level that most people don't get to be until they're senior citizens. And they're at that point that they don't care what other people think. Again, I see I've got 3 people in the chat, so I am doing an awesome job of entertaining my... In fact, I will move on to our next collection. Zipping over to All Poetry. Hot Air by Chipped Nail Polish. Words are seeds, yet fields remain barren. An abyss belongs to those who project. A manual in need for those who don't feel, and possesses no emotions to protect. Meanings as flighty as birds when cold, to gain is to lose a trickle of identity. An empty bowl can keep nothing if cracked, and broken artifacts are now quantity. And Introspection by Supposed Poet. When the moon bleeds stars, when the ablaze eyes awaken, toss blades of vision, cutting through the sky. As long as dusk's light succumbs and a dawn's darkness flees, I will strut the sphere protected by my helmet of clouds. I fumble and stare into my melancholy kaleidoscope. I gaze into its rainbow-flavored torment, pondering my rhetoric, my lament, Cynicinid tunes, my tongue spewing my blighted phrase in claws. And by A.J. Abrams. A poem for you. Walk in slowly through the doorframe. Spill your thoughts into the sink drain. You lost your vision, so take my eyes to see this mess you've left behind. A shattered psyche, a mind receding, an open wound, bending, bleeding. Stare you down through my fears, cracked reflection, crystal clear. It's as if barbed wire. Jen Stevenson, too, wrote Freckles. A white-spotted doe shades herself in dusted secrets through pine-speckled branches of pine-needled trees. She lowers her neck to reach blossoms and chew the razor-blade grass and orchid sepals with sturdy gait and jagged knees, her four-legs hinged and acute angles and flinched. Only with heat, breeze, and a noise flicker floods her chestnut body to bolt beyond the trellis. Upholding a magenta-dotted buildings, an array of Orions built above. I noticed her markings are sparkled fun that reflect reliable constellations, that brighten to contrast sharp darkness. I looked down, left and right, to count my pigment stars, that mark my arms with each one round or morphing to moles, then shape-shifting to rigid polygons. My skin orbits the sun rays for light to display, all these celestial spaces that tiptoe closer than farther away. And I identify the sprightly doe-eyed glimmer, my affinity to flora and fauna and faculae, and how my natural hair follicles shoot up from freckles like watchman deer legs. Yeah, nice to see. I'm not the only one here. In more ways than one. But yeah, I think a lot of kids preferred Halloween more than Christmas. I mean, yes, Christmas is that time that we were traditionally, always given presents and that kind of stuff. But Halloween is that one time of year that you can actually tell people to, smell my feet and, just be you. I think I'll move on to our next one. Make this short. Shadowvirus.com. Lost in Reflections, a poem by Isabel Toling. You've gone missing in your own reflection. You've been taken in by your own misdirection. And to think you thought you were all perfection, but now it's time to give up your own self-reflection. You've been taken in by your own reflection. You knew all along we never had any connection. So now it's to give up on your own perfection. Don't you see I've done just your complete dissection? You knew all along we never had any connection, so don't be surprised now by my rejection. You don't see it, but I've done just your complete dissection. And what I've seen is that you're merely just a reflection. You've gone missing in your own reflection. And so you thought you were all perfection, but all you really were was just that reflection. And I've come to see that you were my infection. By and by I'll leave you now, it's my defection, because I'm tired of staring at your empty reflection. There was never really any connection. You were, after all, just my infection. And I think with that, hi, Mark. Evening, my dear. Oh, nice to see actually, people. I'll see if I can find one more. Maybe one that's not so. Okay. Reflections, a poem by Dustin Down. Reflections of a McDonald's, clean and spiffy, utterly perfect and pristine. Reflections of a bag of French fries, getting soggy, wet, and cold, in a rain that never stops. Reflections of a car that slides on shiny cold water and does pirouettes. Reflections of accidental collisions with future lovers leading to soft kisses. Reflections of pupils so large the irises are all but gone, the white that fades into tearful pink. Reflections that hide reality in a soft green dream, always there. But if only you look close. Reflections of soft conversations tucked away somewhere safe deep in the night. Reflections of clashing families with differences that lead to violence. Black sheep thrown together. Reflections of a cheap hotel room with purple tapestries and lilac quilts. King and queen of our own world. Reflections of a secret place. You take me there and share me with your pain. I'd love to hear about it one day. Hello, Subhuman. As usual. As Maki has pointed out many times, people stroll in as you tend to roll up. And I'm sorry, I'm not on my usual game tonight. Hello, D. Hope you're feeling better, babe. Yeah, seeing that just, it hit me, and I'm, like I said, I'm not on my game. I've been, so yeah. Double check you're subscribed. Hit the like button. Night all.